Recruiting is the lifeblood of any program. After all, you're only as good as the players you bring in. So, new head coach Kevin Willard and his staff have aggressively hit the ground running on the recruiting trail. We bring in 247 Sports Villanova analyst Leader Johnson to talk about some of Villanova's big targets in the class of 2026, 2027, and beyond. They're crushing it on the trail. According to Leader, he'll tell you why and who to look out for as a potential future Wildcat. It's all coming up next on Holy Nova. Hi, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Holy Nova. I'm Matt Janus. No David White this week. It is his birthday, after all. So we decided, especially after he decided to make fun of me for being a little too old compared to him, to let him celebrate his week and his birthday. Enjoy it. And we will hear from David next week once he realizes how old he has become. But in his spot, we will welcome in Leader Johnson from 247 Sports. If you follow Villanova, you have been familiar with his work over the years, always in the mix on the recruiting trail, talking to high school talent and try to find out where they're going to head. He's a hustler. He has as many jobs as you could possibly imagine, and he's got a lot of thoughts about the new coaching staff and what they do well. So without further ado, here is Leader Johnson. And we welcome in Leader Johnson of 247 Sports and, of course, highlevelsports.com. You won't see his picture on the screen. Technology is a great thing until it doesn't work, and then it becomes our arch enemy. But Leader is with us, I promise you, and we appreciate you taking the time to join us today.
No problem, man. Glad to be on the show, man.
So a lot to talk about when we look at this Villanova program. You follow so many facets of the program as closely as anybody. Let's start on the recruiting trail because obviously the most important thing is finding players if Villanova wants to get back to what it has been in years past. And when you talk to this coaching staff, they really feel like they found their identity and found their stride in terms of selling recruits on coming to the main line.
They just look like they know what to do. Like this is a good unit. It's a good unit. Like when Nova had Halkovich, they had Neptune, they had Howard. They had Dunleavy. I'm just saying these guys know how to go get their players, and the people, they have a good reputation.
And the reputation certainly took a little bit of a hit for Kevin Willard as he was trying to work his way out of the Maryland mess and try to navigate how to make an NCAA tournament run, but then depart his job. That played out in a very public way. But when you listen to recruits talk about Villanova and see what he was able to do in the transfer portal, it doesn't seem like it had a huge impact in tarnishing his reputation. Have you heard anything about that anymore out there on the trail?
Well, it's two things that come together with that. For one, the culture that they already had is there. Like it's not going anywhere. So now you're like you want to come off that. People don't know that's a staple culture right there. Now, and Willard has his own reputation. So he brings that to Nova and it's combined. Believe me, it's nothing has been knocked off. People still love Nova. What Neptune what he did with that culture was keep the culture. He kept the, Hoops Mania is big for recruits, and he still kept the culture there. Now, Willard's going to be a different monster in coaching, and I think he'll be a better coach.
Leader Johnson of 247 Sports joining us now. Let's talk about what they were able to do on the recruiting trail because they came into it obviously very late in the process. A lot of the connections had been made through the previous staff with Kyle Neptune. They kept Ashley Howard on staff, I think, because of his recruiting chops, but also to try to build upon those connections. And they were able to land some really big bodies late in the process, even after arriving when they did on the calendar.
I think it's real hard when you're just coming in and a guy leaves and so many people left from Villanova, and they did a good job. I mean, they went and got guys that really Nova had been targeting. They just lost out on. Caden Lewis, number 2 in DC. Number 5 is a position, combo guard. Play both guards at elite level. Good IQ. Great get. Home run get. 48th prospect in 2025 by 247. Chris Jeffrey, Nova and Neptune, they was going after him. They were going head up for him, and he went to Maryland. Number 73 ranked player in the country, 13th ranked combo guard. Guard is coming back for sure. They are putting that down. Number 3 player in Maryland. Nico Onyekwa. Now, this is a guy I think a lot of people, it was a big surprise. Surprises me. But Long Island Lutheran is a good school, a lot of good prospects, and this is a guy that he can jump. He's going to bring instant defense. I think he'll get a little bit of time. I don't think much, but he'll get a little bit of time. He's a guy that they need. 7'1", 240, a seventh best player in New York. I just think he's a real good get and to add size. That looking at their recruiting class is 48th ranked by us at 247. The transfer rank is 64. They had some good guys come in. All the needs that they wanted, they went and got. Malcolm Flagg's a small forward, 6'6". He played with Duke Brennan. Duke Brennan, a good 6'10", 235, average 10 points, 10 rebounds, brings you a double-double guy. Flags will be a guy that can hit that shot, hit from the outside. He's going to surprise a lot of people because he didn't have a big rank coming out of high school. A good player. Immediate. He's going to be immediate eligible for us. Malachi Palmer, immediately eligible. She comes over. Some guys transfer, they're not eligible immediately. But all the guys that we got, that's key. They all are coming right over, and they're going to play immediately. Malachi Palmer, 6'6", 4-star transfer, 4-star recruit. I mean, this is a guy that Neptune wanted. This guy can dunk on you. He can, when he gets going, Nova fans are going to love him. Devin Askew, a point guard. Everybody remember? 6'5" point guard. We wanted him. Big-time guy. He didn't go to us. He's back. He's here. Like I said, shout out to Brian Askew, the whole family. Got love for him. You got a great unit, great point guard there. I think he starts. Bryce Lindsey, Jesus. I mean, he played with Braden Pierce in high school. And this guy can light it up. He can really light it up. He's going to, listen, the time he's going to get, and he's good for Big East play. He's a tough guy. Don't back down. Zion Stanford out of Philly, right here in Philly. You always get a good hometown guy. Great to get a hometown guy from Temple, 6'5", 195, 4-star transfer, 3-star recruit. This guy can play. He's already ready to come in and immediately impact. I think out of everybody that's here, I think him and Askew all automatically come in here and have the experience to battle. And Brennan, they have the experience to battle people. They're battle tested. And I think that's key. I just think it's a good class. I think Matt, what you look at is that he quickly went to work, quickly went and got what they needed, and then quickly gave us a good recruiting class because we lost everybody from the recruiting class. Dante Allen decommitted. We had him. Another guy, shout out to Malik Allen and Dante Allen, good family. But they had to do what they had to do. They didn't know they were recruited by Neptune. Some people, when your coach leaves, they automatically don't want to figure it out. They don't want to. What made Matthew Hodge stay is that Willard recruited him. He already knew who they were. So he wasn't going anywhere, and he was a big recruit. So I think this is a good team. I think Nova fans, you're not going to go and say championship. It's not there yet. No, first round, let's go there. Let's go to make a tournament. Make the tournament. It's a tournament team. It's a Big East. It's a type of team that can go third in the Big East right now. If I say that, third in the Big East, they have a good team. Yeah, they have a good team.
People would sign up for that. You mentioned the overall rankings of both the recruiting class and the transfer portal. But I think what the Villanova coaching staff is banking on, and what you hear more and more coming out of the main line right now, is that the pieces fit together. So it's more of a sum of all parts situation. And while the rankings may not wow you or knock your socks off, they feel like the pieces are going to come together. It might take some time, but they have a chance to become a really good team by the second half of the year. Do you see these pieces really gelling the deeper it gets into the year?
Yeah, I say that because Devin Askew's experience. 18 points a game last year. He's been playing at a high level each program he goes to. Caden Lewis is big. He's gonna be good. He's gonna be good. Tyler Perkins is gonna light it up. If anybody we knew with him, he can shoot. He can shoot, and he's experienced. He's ready to go. I think this is a more bigger stay than we think. Him and Hodge staying is bigger than we think. Hodge is gonna be ready to play. I think he could have played immediately last year. I think he could have got right in. Duke Brennan, it's so important to have size. And a guy that he's tough, he doesn't back down. I like him as a prospect. It's really good to have that tough guy inside. After losing Njoku, he's gone. So it's good to have that guy. And I like Braden Pierce. He's a solid guy. I think just being 7 foot out there. I mean, listen, he can shoot that ball. He was trying to shoot the three in high school. I like who Willard has. Willard can coach his guys good. And I think, like you said, later on in the season, right, Askew, Stanford, and Lindsey, those type of guys, they're going to be ready to play. Brennan, they're going to be ready to play.
We are with Leader Johnson. He's the Villanova analyst for 247 Sports. Can't see him on your screen. Apologies to everybody for having to stare at my face the entire
Oh,
time.
y'all.
We appreciate all the info that he is providing. We talked about the pieces you mentioned earlier, that combination of Pierce and Lindsay and how they know each other and how they played together for a long time. Do you sense that chemistry, and how big an asset can that be for Villanova as they try to grow together?
That's twice. That's twice. Lindsay and you got Lindsay and Pierce. They played together in high school, and you got Flags and Brennan. You got two chemistry guys. That's so important for a locker room. So for you to know your guy, for you to be happy to come to the locker room. People don't know how important it is to be a locker room person. And I think that's really important for them.
It's been a big part of the Villanova program over the years. That's what Kevin Willard has talked about, of trying to get back to that. Matthew Hodge is another guy that you have mentioned. He's kind of the great enigma of Villanova basketball. People have heard about him for a while now. It's kind of similar to the Amari Spellman situation, granted with a much different set of pieces surrounding him as he finally gains his eligibility. But Nova fans know what this is like, know what it can look like. What do you think from Hodge here in year one of eligibility? How can he hit the ground running for this team? What does he bring to the table?
Honestly, I say 13 a game right now. I think 13-4, 13-5. I just think they're going to give him the chance. They need that power forward. Tafari Gapray is another guy that can shoot from the outside. He's a defensive player. I think they're good at the four. I just think they're going to give Hodge his chance. It's like a Caden Lewis. Caden Lewis and ASU, and that's how they're going to do the power forward position. I think they believe in those those four prospects, and I think that happens.
Is there something about Hodges' skill set that stands out most to you?
He's, you know what? He's smooth. He knows what he's doing. He's in transition. He knows how to make a pass. He can pass. I mean, he can do everything. He really can do everything in transition. Villanova's going to need that. A guy that can get the energy going, get the momentum. Give it to him in the post, he can do it. Give it to him outside, he can do it. Transition, looking at two people, two guards, a forward guard, he can pass to the right person. He can shoot from the free throw. I just think Villanova fans are going to be excited to watch him play. I mean, if you watch Sadiq Bey, think about Sadiq Bey. He just likes it, like he's that type of player.
That's music to everybody's ears, especially if you can have the same career arc that Sadiq Bey had. That guy just kept getting better and better and better. And everybody wonders what could have been if the NCAA tournament happened in 2020, that March when everything shut down.
Wow. Yeah. How about that?
It's one of those great unknowns in Villanova history. The other unknowns right now for this Villanova program is what they will look like in terms of landing recruits moving forward. We've talked about the newcomers coming in 2025, but no one works the phones and the relationships better than you out on the recruiting trail as we're Leader Johnson from 247 Sports. What stands out most to you in terms of targets for Villanova in class of 2026?
It's always fun in recruiting, seeing these guys be successful, seeing parents work with their kids, and it's really fun to me. Sports is fun to me, but man, it's good to see Nova not falling off. That's the thing. It was hard for Neptune. It was harder for Neptune. Believe me, it was, and he did a good. That's why I say he did a real good job, guys, that he was recruiting. But Willard, man, he already has a reputation. Him and his staff both have a reputation, so it's kind of easy. Guys like Norris and Manning Jr., those guys know people. That's how they got Caden Lewis, because of his staff. So if we go there, we can go down the line in 2026. This is big right now because they got guys like Anthony Brown and Luka Foster. Luka Foster, we talk about Luka Foster. Luka Foster releases top 9. It's Villanova, Oklahoma, Michigan, Georgetown, Ohio State, Virginia, Gonzaga, Pitt, and Oregon. I talked to Luka Foster for VU Sports. Anybody want to go to VU Sports? We got everything from football. Anything Villanova is there. Luka Foster has been hoops mania. He's been around this. He loves Villanova, and it was good that this staff continued to recruit him. And he was also being recruited by Maryland, so that's going to help him come over here. I think he goes to Villanova. That's my pick for him right here on the Matt Janus show. We're talking about him going to Nova. Yes, he goes to Nova. That's one of the guys there. Chase Foster, he's big, 4-star power forward. He's big with Nova, but it's a lot of guys after him. George Smith is another guy that was big. I had an interview with him for VU Sports. He's another guy that's real big on Nova. But they're high school. Part of Six is always Catholic, is always getting people from Banner Slater went there from Nova. They recruited Jeremy Roach. So that's always a target school for them. Christian Collins is big on Nova. Power forward, big on Nova. Number 4 recruit in the 2026 class. Baba Aludatin is a guy, number 8 on the class, but that Merlin staff has been recruiting him hard. So just pay attention to that one. Deron Rippey Jr., point guard. To me, the best point guard in 2026.
You think Nova can get back in on that?
That is, I'm gonna tell you about that. That's the first thing I had as soon as they, because I knew Deron Rippey had 2 interviews with him, with this staff and the last staff, to update people. And all his father was saying is, we just, as long as they we like Nova, as long as they still want to pursue us, yeah. And I haven't heard from the staff on how hard they are on them, but you can still see that they're still gaining ground and still talking to them through sources and talks. But I haven't talked to personally the staff, nobody from the staff, but I'll do more on that. Caden Samuels, 4-star, number 19th ranked, loves Nova. Had an interview with him for 247. Very good guy. Jackson Richardson, we'll see how that goes. Very talented player. Jason Richardson, son, his brother, also in the NBA. Jace Richardson, very talented family. Christopher Watson Jr. is a guy that they're high on. We'll see how that goes. I'll try to get more on it. Hasn't talked to him yet. Quincy Wiley is high on Nova. Talk to him. Number 42nd player. Just notice the guys in this class that are high. Jaden Hodge, Matthew's brother, 47th ranked. He's high, of course. It's not even a question. And the family is high. The Hodge family is high on Villanova. So I think no question, I think Jaden Hodge and Luka from this class can be Villanova. Until I see it, I think there's going to be it. They reoffered Aiden Durkak, is a guy that's 4-star shooting guard. Real good shooter, man. We'll see how that goes. That means they're extra interested. It's like when they offered Cole Rosario, didn't get him. Nico Monday, another guy that's high on Villanova. We'll see how that goes. That they're recruiting him. We'll see how Villanova pursues him. Julius Avent, that's the guy that Villanova was after with this first go round. We'll see how this staff goes. But they really were after him when Neptune was here. We'll see how that goes. I talked to him. He was very high on Nova. Favor IB, 4-star center out of Maryland. Very high on Villanova. Talk to him for 247. You can go to VU Sports, find it. This guy is very high. He only came, he loves him because of Willard. He loves Willard. A lot of guys came over because of Willard. Like, that proves a lot of what type of coach he is. There are recruits that love Coach Willard. So that's one guy. In 2027 class, Ryan Hampton got offered. Now, they're very close with the Hampton family. They love Villanova. And Coach Norris told me himself, they're going hard after Hampton. So it's going to pick up as it goes. But they have time. Caden Doherty, big-time shooter, loves Nova. Jeremy Jenkins loves Nova. 4-star, loves Nova. Mal Fuentes, he's interested in Nova. Don't know how hard, but he's very interested in Nova. Theo Edema, they just gave the 4-star center an offer. Merlin is also battling with him.
Let me jump in there for a sec, because it's interesting. When Villanova was at its best under Jay Wright, early on, he was hitting North Jersey and New York really hard, and that's where he made so many of his bones. But in the second half of his tenure, when they had their best teams, you could argue their best players came from the DMV. Willard's time at Maryland, how big of an asset is that to making Villanova a mainstay again in that DMV, and how important is that recruiting ground for the Wildcats?
You know what? That's big. He has Merlin locked down. So, I said that when he first got signed, I said that we're going to take over DMV now, because Villanova itself is already a factor. There, Delaware, Connecticut, Villanova's all over there. So, and he's big in there. And not only is he big there, he's big in New York. He has other places he goes. Ryan Hampton is in Texas. So we're talking about a guy that's going to go after the top recruits too. He's going after big guys. Baba Aladdin and Ryan Hampton, those guys are like top 10, top 5. He's going clearly hard after him. So this is something. And Jason Crow Jr., another guy that committed. Villanova was after him, but that was Neptune's class. But Jason Crow Jr. Committed. He's going to Missouri. But they're going to be big there. They're not going to lose ground there. and then they're still picking it up. That's why they kept Howard too, because Howard gives them Pennsylvania still. Like if you really look at it, their coaching staff doesn't have a guy. Howard's respect is big in Pennsylvania. There's no question. So that was a very smart move.
And anybody you talk to about Howard, his ability to connect with people, it's almost instantaneous. He just has that skill and has that way with people. And it's so important on the recruiting trail. We talk about the Count Neptune staff versus what you're seeing from Kevin Willard's staff right now. And one of the things we've talked about a couple times over the course of these Holy Nova episodes, the big thing that Willard has that, I'm sure Count Neptune would have wanted to get to, but could never kind of find that solid ground underneath of him to maybe move in that direction. There's a long-term plan that seems to be mapped out as long-term as you can make it with the way college athletics work. And he is kind of looking at pieces in terms of not just to bring him in for a year and then see how things go, bring him in for multiple years and try to make things fit. Whereas Count Neptune was always kind of chasing, we got to find a way to win now. We need this guy that can make us get over the hump. And is that one of the biggest differences in terms of the roster construction that you're noticing and the types of guys that Villanova's going on after on the trail?
Man, you got it. I mean, it could have worked. If it works, it works. But you know what makes this even better? You got guys in this day and age staying multiple years. That's what you're aiming for. You're aiming for the guys that are already there. You're not aiming for the guys that, one year. That's it, they're going, and that's it. Or they're trying to get that draft stock up, and then they're trying to steal up. Like, this is very important. And not only that, if you look at who Willard's brought in, he's brought in a lot of people from when Neptune came here, he brought nobody from Fordham. Like, he had T-Sambala, Abdul T-Sambala was over there, Patrick Kelly was over there. It's a lot of guys that did not come, nobody came from Fordham. But when Merlin and that was a tournament team. When Willard came over here, there were guys that came over here from their team, and there were guys that were going to come from Jacoby Gillespie. They were in contention to come. Rodney Wright, like it's guys like that. He kept them in contention from the top as far as recruiting.
And it wasn't, especially with Rodney Wright, it wasn't anything of feeling betrayed by Willard and the way things played out at Maryland. That was a monetary thing, right? I mean, that was USC ponying up big bucks.
Yeah, that's all that was. That was all it was. Anybody trying to read into relationships, you're clearly wrong. This is one simple thing. Money is so different now. Like you could say that when there wasn't money involved, but you know what I mean? Because you don't know who might have did it or who did give it. But no, this is clear now. It's all on the table now. Sports gambling is legal now. This is big business now, big money. So go ahead.
No, I'm just going to say with Leader Johnson at 247 Sports, also highlevelsports.com. So that's a kind of a look ahead of what to expect for the long-term future for Villanova as he talks about what he is seeing out on the recruiting trail. How about for this particular team, when you're looking at some of the position battles and how it might play out in summer camp, what are you looking at most? What are the two positions that stand out to you in terms of greatest intrigue of who wins what job?
Well, looking at this, the starting, you're gonna see me name my starting five right here today. Just where I'm thinking right now. All right. Now we're talking about point guard, which is the most important position, especially in guard U.
Devin Askew.
Right. Ain't there some difference? Because everybody there can really play point guard except for Tyler. Like Tyler's a straight shooting guard, but Christian Jeffrey, Devin Askew, Bryce Lindsay, they're all guys that can handle the rock. And it's kind of like when they won the championship with Jalen Brunson and Ryan Archiakino. These guys are both point guards, and they were able to play on the same court. So you have that. And I think Devin Askew is experienced. I mean, because he's a guy right now with the experience, and he can leave next year. I don't think Willard rushes Lewis in there, but he still gets starter minutes. It's not going to – he's still going to be able to impact. I think the starter at shooting guard, I think the best starter at shooting guard is Tyler Perkins. You're putting him in there. He's more experienced. And then you got Bryce Lindsay. Let him come up and eat it up. I think he's the DiVincenzo of this team here. He's going to get down. He can shoot from anywhere. He really isn't scared. Since high school, he's been like that, though. He's been like that. So I think that's going to be a deadly four-guard rotation. And if you look at it, if you look at Christian Jeffrey, I just don't see that much time. But he'll get in there sometime to give some rest. Depends on, later in the season when certain guys have had a run of certain minutes, he'll get in there. I think they'll wait first, really wait,
He's
because
more of a project. Him and Nico feel like projects, right?
right. If you look at small forward, Zion Stanford was brought in for that. He's a guy that can play D, can shoot. I'm really excited about him because he's going to get bigger competition, bigger minutes, more shots at a high level program, Temple high level pro. But now you're at Villanova. Okay, Malcolm Flaggs will be that guy. Him, Flaggs, and Palmer. Palmer is another guy that's not going to get. I don't think that's going to be hard. That's going to be hard. I think they battle for it because Palmer's too talented. He's so talented, man. I could really see him earning time. But right now, you go with Flaggs with experience and let him go. And he's solid. I don't see superstar. I see he's a hard worker. He'll be able to play defense. He's 6'6", just like Malachi Palmer. So I think that works out. Power forward, that's the one. That's the battle. That's the battle because Hodge is going to get that time, man. Hodge is ready. And I think people are excited. The country was when he was one of those recruits. He started going up more and more each game, and people started to recognize him. But Tafari Gapare is the guy I think will start because of the experience again. Because you don't have to rush nobody in. But Hodge can take that starter spot. He can take that starter spot. But I think they won't rush it in out because Gapare can shoot threes. He can rebound. He can guard 3 of the 4. And he can drive to the hole. I think it's a good underrated guy they got because he did good for Willard.
He felt like he had some streakiness to his game, but when he was on at Maryland in
Right.
Stagnant, well, he did some stuff.
You're right, and it's going to be something to see with more minutes and being starting now. Now some of these guys, it's like Duke Brennan. You know what I like with Duke Brennan at center? Duke Brennan gets to play with this big competition. He gets to bring more out of him because he got to bully them guys and he's tough. He's really a tough player. I keep saying, man, we need that. We need second chances, man. We need a guy to bully people and back it up. Like I say with Trish and Jeffrey, a couple of games go through, they throw Nico in there. Time to get somebody some rest. Let's get Nico last couple of minutes of the game. Put him in there. Oh, okay. We want to give people rest. You could put a 7-foot guy to take up space, block shots. Like he's going to be an instant shot blocker because that's just what he can do. He's good first step, long arms, good positioning. You're not going to be able when they put him in there for defense. That's why I think he could earn some minutes when they do certain lineups and you want to put him in there to block shots. I think this team wins 20 games. No question. Whether they win the first game in the tournament or not, it's all up to them and what I see as the season goes. But I think they win. Don't worry, Nova. This is a guy that has had Big East. He played Seton Hall, Merlin. What he did with Merlin, if you see what he did with Merlin, bringing Derek Queen there, NBA prospect. You got a lottery prospect. You have to coach in the tournament team. That's high accolades right there. So this is good. This is really a good choice. I wanted Neptune to get one more year. I did. I said, give him one more year. He had a better year than last year. The team looked better. They just didn't make the tournament. They was almost clinching. Then you had another coach them at a tournament, and they win. They almost win the tournament. I was like, oh, this was his team. But hey, he's gone now. Love to them. Dwayne Anderson, real good assistant coach. Mike Nardi got his well-deserved job. I mean, good team. Then and Howard gets brought back. That tells you something, how good that Howard is. I'm really excited about Howard being back because there's so many PA prospects and DMV prospects he's real close with. So they don't leave. This is going to be good. I was talking about to Jacoby Briscoe in the 2027 class, a guy to watch out for. Harlan McNeil, 2029 point guard, loves Villanova. Jim Jones' nephew, number 1 point guard in that class. Really, really, really good. Brelin Moses, our 2028. Listen, they're doing good at recruiting. You just got to know how these high guys and how Ryan Hampton becomes. We're coming on Matt Janus's show exclusively, and Ryan Hampton commits. Listen, he's a hell of a player. RJ Hampton's brother. RJ Hampton went to the NBA. He kind of broke of a mold because he was a guy that really came out of high school. He broke the mold of nobody going. They had to play 1 year, and he went to the NBL. And the same year, LaMelo Ball went, and he would end up getting drafted. So yeah, Ryan Hampton, he looks smoother than his brother, but I wouldn't say better at this age, but he has the potential to be better. He's just so gifted and talented, man.
Man, you are getting people excited, though. That's a lot of big level names that Villanova's getting in the mix on. That's so critical.
No,
Now you got to get over the hump. That was the thing that at times eluded the Kyle Neptune staff. It feels like Kevin Willard's staff in a little bit better position to finish. Last thing I want to get you out of here on this. You mentioned you think it's a 20-win team. You think that it's a team that maybe could win a game in the NCAA tournament, and they're building long term. I know I personally am a big John Rothstein fan. I know a lot of people, it's take him or leave him, but you can't say he's not a well-connected guy. And he's traveling all over the country, going to all these
that's my
practices.
guy. Yeah, the guy, John. Yeah.
So he goes to Villanova's practice, and it was pretty clear, whether it be his own eyes or a combination of his own eyes and what he was talking about with the Villanova coaching staff, he scared the dickens out of this fan base, talking about the need to rebound the basketball. What are you hearing, and what are you seeing in terms of Villanova's ability on the glass this year? How big a work in progress is that right now?
First off, I want to give a shout out to John, Mr. Fortune 500, for all them years saying that. Man, that was the greatest line ever. Man, we got 7-footers now, man. I just think it really eliminates that. There, Matthew Hyde is 6'9". You got Tafari's a good rebounder at 6'8". And listen, man, 7 foot. I'm still kind of. I remember Michael Bradley, near 7 foot. I mean, it's been a long time since I said seeing Nico and Braden. I think they'll do good there. I think they addressed that. I think they thought that themselves. For them to go after those big guys, and you see how they're recruiting with favor EB, and you see they're giving guys scholarships, big guys. They're trying to go there. At one time, Neptune was trying, with guys like you look at Thomas Sorber. He had offered Thomas Sorber one time. He was really trying to address that, but never could. But he's going aggressive after this. Not only did Willard offer guys, transfers came over. So and then he had a 7-footer commit. So we got two. So I think he's serious about that size being. I think we don't have no problem rebounding next year.
Well, that'll be music to everybody's ears. Leader, how do people find your work? You got so many jobs going. Where can people find your stuff?
You can follow me on Twitter, Leader Johnson. Follow me on Instagram, also Facebook. I have a page, Leader Johnson. Levelsports.com, highlevelsports.com. I'm always doing articles and talking to recruits. Also, we're talking to pros, doing the best I can. Also, I have NHL flyers, who's fired in a flyer with Jamie Boscow. High Level Sports Talk podcast. Follow Leader Sports podcast, man. I'm just trying to stay up to date with everything. And also, I want to say congratulations to Kayla Ebers for committing to Villanova. Eric, what? That's crazy. The legacy. I'm just excited because parents work hard for their kids, right? And how excited they got to be. You got Alexis Ebers. She committed 2026. Shout out to Coach Dillon doing an unbelievable job, bringing so many good players in because she lost a lot of good players. Jasmine Bosco she's going to be WNBA. But Kayla Ebers committed, and I want to tell y'all, I talked to Kayla. It's going to be an interview coming out for VU Sports. She also said her sister, Kelsey Ebers, is hurt. Kelsey Ebers, 2028. That's her twin. Kelsey's going to commit. I'm already saying they're going to have all of them, all three girls. It's going to be crazy. Shout out to Michelle and Eric Ebers. Man, it is so great. I'm trying to. I'm going to have an interview with Steve Lapis coming out. I'm trying to get all the Ebers and Lapis on the show, man. It's a great thing to see legacy. I love when legacy commits. I was excited about Dante Allen, but unfortunately, things happen. But yes, Kayla Ebers commits, and that's gonna be a good team. They got a lot of good players on that whole squad. If you're talking about, I just want to name some of them guys. You got Kylie Watson coming over to transfer from Notre Dame. You got MD Natambu, the Canadian. Man, it's going to be Brent McCurry. You got the Bender twins, Brooke Bender and Elise Bender committed. Kennedy Henry, one of the top. Like, this is what Daniel Ciceretti, the Nate Carter's coming back. Rachel Wirtz is there. Indiana prospect. Listen, I'm a big fan of what Dillon is doing with Villanova, how she's doing recruiting. It's just a great class, man. It's great to see. And everybody, tune in to Coach Dillon. She's doing such a phenomenal job. I'm really excited this year.
We're hoping to get her on the show here in the next couple of weeks, and we're going
Mm.
to talk a lot of women's basketball here on Holy Nova. But you're right, the Ebers family, that's as cool a story as you are going to find. To have that many different legacies
Wow.
inside both the men's and women's programs, you
Wow.
cannot beat that. That's what Villanova is all about. You also can't beat the information Leader Johnson provides. 247 Sports, all those other jobs. Make sure you check out his work. Leader, we have to have you back on. We have to get your face on here next time.
Yeah,
So
man, we're going to
people aren't
work that out,
staring.
man. We're going to work that
Yeah.
out,
Nobody
man.
wants to stare at my ugly mug for a half hour, but it was worth it for the information. We appreciate you.
But thanks, man. Thanks. Glad to be here.
All right, so that is Leader Johnson, and we appreciate his time, obviously, here on Holy Nova. And he has a passion. There's no doubt about it. A lot of information there, but a lot of big names. You listen to some of those names that he rattled off, 3 or 4 in the top 10 of the class of 27. He's got 2 or 3 more in the top 10 initially in 28. Granted, it's really early in both of those processes, but if they can be in with those guys deep into the process and land a couple of them, look out. All of a sudden, now the ceiling gets that much higher, and that's what you're looking to hear if you're a Villanova fan. That's the kind of names you want to welcome into the fold. And of course, today's still in a lot of exciting news on the women's side as well. Alexis Ebers, Kayla Ebers, Kelsey Ebers, all look like they're coming into the fold. We know Alexis. Jay Wright even sending a tweet out about that. He does not technically work as a coach at the school anymore, so that's not an NCAA violation. And then Kayla giving her commitment as well. And you just get the feeling it's only a matter of time till her twin sister is doing the same. And you talk about a story that will be discussed many, many times over the next half decade or so. The Ebers family going to be in the midst of everything. Speaking of things being discussed right now for Villanova men's basketball, the non-conference schedule was released last week. No big surprises. 2 exhibitions this year. So the closed scrimmage is a thing of the past. Anything that you can do to make money, the teams are going to do it now. And if that means having a practice in front of paying fans, well, that's what we're going to see. So what is old is new again. And that's what we've gone back to. It'll be at home, VCU, on October the 19th. That one will get started at 5 p.m. at Finneran Pavilion. Less than a week later, will Villanova head to John Paul Jones Arena to take on Virginia in the final exhibition before the season gets started. And it's a quick turnaround. 9 days later, big one in Vegas, BYU. We've known about that for months. Doesn't mean we aren't looking forward to it immensely. Big test for Nova right off the bat. Top 10 opponent in the country in BYU. That will be a nice litmus test to see where the program is right now. And it should be an entertaining game as well, because as talented as BYU is, it's a lot of newcomers that's bringing that talent to the table. Villanova's got talented newcomers as well, who's further along in the process at that stage of the season. Then, bunch of home games strung together for Nova, 3 in a row, as they'll play Queens, Sacred Heart, and Duquesne. Queens on the 8th, Sacred Heart on the 11th, and then Duquesne on the 15th. All those games at the Finneran Pavilion. Quick road trip, and I do mean quick, right down the road to LaSalle. They'll play against the Explorers on November the 19th, and then back home for 2 more against Old Dominion and Temple. At Temple, the final regular season Big 5 game before the Big 5 Classic the following weekend on December the 6th, and then 3 big name programs to close out non-conference play. A big one against Michigan, not just a big name, big time team. Wolverines, potential top 10, top 15 team this year, and they will take on the Wildcats in Ann Arbor on December the 9th, December the 13th. A familiar face. We talked about it last week. Pitt comes to town. They will visit the Finn to battle Villanova in their penultimate non-conference game of the season. Close out non-conference play at a Big Ten foe, Wisconsin, on December the 19th. So good schedule for Villanova, and that's what Kevin Willard wanted. He wanted to challenge his team. He wanted to put together some potential quad one wins. That's going to be important this year. Depth in the Big East is a question mark right now. You know you're going to get 4 opportunities at likely top 5 to top 10 programs in UConn and St. John's. And we think Creighton will be very good again, although they lose a ton of pieces from last year. But you think that's a fringe top 20, top 25 team. Outside of that, not sure what to make of the Marquettes, of the Georgetowns, even of the Providences of the world right now inside the Big East. That's the big question mark of, is there another top 25 team? Villanova is hoping to fill that void and be that fourth top 25 team, but you can't get quad one wins against yourself. So you need some of them in non-conference play. Wildcats have presented those opportunities to themselves as they will play a true road game against LaSalle, a not neutral floor game against a top 10 team in BYU, and then against whoever they draw in the Big Five Classic. True road games against Michigan and Wisconsin, and then a home one. It'll probably be a quad two game, but quad two games are fine against Pittsburgh on the 13th. So good schedule, a lot to look forward to, much more to come on Holding Over. We're back next week as we will continue to work our way through the summer, getting closer and closer. The students are coming back, which makes it feel that much more like it is basketball season. We're only a couple months away. Happy birthday to David White. I heard he turned 40 this week. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but he's out celebrating, so he can attest to the math. For David White and for Leader Johnson, thanks to him for joining us. I'm Matt Janus. We're part of the Big East Energy Network. We hope that you will like this video, subscribe to the Big East Energy Network, and be a part of all of our content to come. This has been Holding Over.